Thursday, April the 23rd, 2026. The very little advertised these days St George's Day. So happy St George's Day to those that remember it. And as you can see, I'm down in Balcombe today, Sussex, a place I've walked from several times previously. Very nice area in the Weald. And today I'm about to walk a walk I haven't previously done in this area. swcwalk447, swcwalk447, a Balcombe Circular of around 9 miles. So decent distance.
The train now approaching platform 1 does not stop here.
Got an absolutely cracking walking day today. Not a cloud in the sky, around 19 degrees, with a cooling east.
Train now approach.
Before I was interrupted, a cooling east northeasterly breeze today, gusts up to 25 mph. So let's crack on, see what awaits. I've a good idea what awaits because I've done a lot of this walk, or the paths on it. So this is the station that has a bookshelf, the Balcombe bookshelf. And although not many trains stop here on the Brighton line, it's a busy station in terms of throughfare. So 9 miles to do. It's just gone 11:30. Should be back here by 4. So at the junction of the road and the station access road, take this footpath off to the right. And this is all very familiar terrain. And I do recall this flight of stone steps, which could be an issue with wet leaves on them. So at this juncture, continue on up the hill there. Good to see the flag out. Whether that's a permanent feature or just out for today, doesn't matter. Plenty of ransoms out there. Plenty of bluebells out on my right in this woodland. Lots of development in the last month since my last video, but I've been busy, unfortunately, as this is my favourite time of the year. Once the cow parsley appears, which it has done, then just got a few more weeks to go, so need to make hay really. Pleasant quiet lane this. Leaves are almost all out now. Lovely shade of green, fresh. So we come off the lane here, taking this finger post into the woodland slightly. Well, I've noticed already the ground is bone dry, and this is the Weald. Here's a woodland pond here on my right, and as you can see, already that is well below where it should be, and we're only in April. Seems to be a common theme of my walks lately, the amount of water that's being used, and still they build. The text refers to this as being a potentially muddy area, and as you can see, bone dry. Pretty worrying really. So in the background you can hear the blackcap, which has arrived since my last walk, filmed walk anyway. along with the swallows, which I saw first. I think it was about the 2nd of April, and the house martins, but not as yet the swifts, who have the biggest problem of all with breeding in this country now. So let's see if any arrive at all. I think that's a nuthatch up there somewhere. Common habitat, that oak tree for nests. Now joining a high wheeled circular walk. Pretty dubious style that, and although the landowner has gone to the effort of putting some barbed wire next to it, risking potential injury to some, they haven't repaired the dodgy style, so you could fall off the stile onto the barbed wire in effect. And the omnipresent chiff chaff. Wonderful to hear in such wonderful surroundings. The Weald is definitely one of my favourite walking areas, and I shall hopefully be down here several times this summer to avoid the hot spots and the crowds. I notice there's a few walks I can be doing to catch up with and do down here. Cattle with calves here. Luckily they're the other side of the fence, but I'm sure I won't be so lucky on other parts of this walk. Although the number of cattle in the Weald has declined over recent years, I've noticed. So just past West Sussex Farm, where the farmer was rounding up some Charolais crossbreed cattle. Charolais, they're relatively passive, from what I read anyway. No experience of them, but they're okay. Cracking view over there, which is our direction. Balcombe over there in the distance, which I believe has a convenience store, which I'll be needing as I haven't got any sandwiches at the moment. And as you'd expect in the Weald, little concession to the infirm. Plenty of stiles. Passing a pew with a view there, next to this finger post, which has an interesting bit of artwork on it. Crossing over the rail line. Good to see new trees here. Wonderful. So we're now back in Balcombe, having done a horseshoe really. Another new housing estate in Balcombe, Rectory Gardens. It's relentless, isn't it? This is the Victory Hall, which someone recommended as a good tea stop for the end of the walk. It's opposite Joko, the recommended tea time stop, but I believe that shuts early. Just over there. And I can tell you now it's London prices. Not that that will affect most walkers, because most walkers are coming out of London. I just had a sandwich made up for me, specially in Balcombe stores. Highly recommend their service. And it's next to the Half Moon Inn, which is one of the recommended tea time stops later. Now there is a picnic table there outside the Victory Hall, which I think could be suitable for my lunch. It's just about 1 o'clock, so let's rest a bit. So 1:25, lunch has been had. Let's press on. Got the Union Jack flying here, hence the Victory Hall name. Use an image of the famous Balcombe Viaduct, which I don't think we see on today's walk. So at this 3-fingered post, go through this old metal gate with some cracking views ahead. Decent vista. Onward journeys that way, I believe, past that large oak. Certainly got a good girth. Passing Balcombe House. First patch of mud today. Incredible. Joining the newish footbridge. Some of that classic Wealden orange coloured water. I think it's the iron. Wonderful. Wonderful bird song there. Little wren in the background. Looks like a lovely grey wagtail there. Despite the yellow colours. It's not a yellow, it's a grey, I believe. Lovely. Wonderful Wealden views. Walking alongside a stretch of woodland on my right called the Warren, per the map. And although I moan about the lack of water, and certainly looking at those ditches down there, you can see what I mean. Better than walking in the mud. But as I say, overall it is perturbing where all this water's disappearing to. Come off the track here, taking a right into the woodland. Plenty of blackcaps in the background, wrens, the occasional great tit. Still no cuckoo though. Really should be here, and I would have thought I might hear one today. Let's see. Bridge here is in a dilapidated state. Another good example of where Pathwatch would be useful. The app that used to exist. NB Ramblers. It's that wonderful time when you can smell the aroma of the bluebells. Fantastic. Former shooting box over there. Tree's been struck by lightning. Very stark image. Views back towards Balcombe. Breeze is picking up. So here's one of those kissing gates that you can't get through with a day pack on your back. What a wonderful butterfly that is, or was. Lovely lilac colour. Little blue. And again, the farmer has gone to the trouble of stopping you going through the side bit, bypassing the gate, but won't do anything about the gate itself, which is far too narrow. Don't look after their horse very well either. It's having to eat stinging nettles at the moment. Absolutely no grass. Shocking. Okay, at this point I'm on Paddock Wood Hill Lane. I turn off left here into the woods. Make that Wakehurst Lane. We're headed towards Little London. Now, as you can see, much as these little boardwalks would be needed in the winter months, you would hope, in the summer, well, even now in April, they're redundant. Pond dried up, so all the associated wildlife, if there was any, that could take the oxide water, all gone. Something really is going on with the world. Walking through Tilgate Wood at the moment, and there are a number of fallen trees on the path, so beware. So we don't go that way, but cross over an arm of Ardingly Reservoir in a second, cross a bridge. We are Ardingly Reservoir and the enclosed footbridge. Wonderful. Who needs the Costa del Sol? Views back towards the reservoir. Wonderful. On the outskirts of Wakehurst Place now, or Wakehurst as it's known today. Now, seeing all this rhododendron, which is quite surprising really, seeing as it's an invasive species, it's an appropriate point to tell you about a new app that I've discovered in Countryside magazine, which is issued by the National Farmers Union. Very good read actually for those interested in the countryside and farming. And the app is called INNS app, so invasive species, and it's an identifier and a reporting tool in one. So I highly recommend that. I haven't used it yet, but really should report this. But nothing will get done because it's beside Wakehurst. But yeah, if you want to identify and then report invasive species like rhododendron and bamboo and what's the one down by the rivers? Just a second. Yeah, Himalayan balsam. Then use the INNS Mapper app. And it can be anything that's invasive. Animals like muntjac, fish, if you're that good at identifying them, etc, etc. If they're not reported, they'll just keep on expanding. Just like the grey squirrel, which I call an invasive species. Further views back towards the reservoir and valley. Can't remember what the high point of this walk is today, but I believe it was 460 odd. But we started from a pretty decent height anyway. See if I can find those. Well, we must be near the high point now. Although having said that, with the reservoir there, not necessarily so. I just checked and it's only 369 at this point. Tillinghurst Farm ahead of us here, where we take a left. And as you'd likely expect, just see my first swallow of the day come out of this barn. So it's now 3 o'clock, so in my case it would be a late lunch, but the late lunch can be had here, or if you get here earlier, so much the better. The Gardener's Arms is over in that direction somewhere, in a place called Little London, and this is the showground in front of it, which isn't in use today, but as I say, there's a pub over there called the Gardener's Arms for the main walk, lunchtime stop. I'm continuing along this path beside a busy B road to continue the walk. So we're now in the grounds of Wakehurst, and clearly you don't see anything really. You need to pay the admission fee for that. B2028 on my right, as I say, quite busy. I was in one of the lodges to Wakehurst. Wonderful little place. Should imagine today, very busy. This gate in the corner, which seems to have caused confusion for some, is in the very far corner. That red sign over there indicates the entrance to Wakehurst Place. Continue on past that and come down to this corner where it looks like there's a green waste bin maintained most of the time. Staff only, as it says in the notes. And we take a right then. That metal gate next to a cattle grid, and then continue on down the drive, which is the public footpath as far as I'm aware. So there is a cafe here, but I'm pretty sure in the past I've walked through on the other side of this hedge. Maybe things have changed, or my memory's going. I have walked along this particular drive in the past as well, past the Millennium Seed Bank. Let's see. Yeah, there's the old seed banks. These are the seed banks for Kew Gardens, of which Wakehurst is a part of. Solar panelled roofs obviously on the seed banks. Like further banks are being built as we pass today. Looks like the glass house gets covered with this, whatever it is. Now leaving Wakehurst, we come out into another great view, the Wealden wonder. Information panel here about what they're doing for the bees. Okay. Continuing on by that redwood there's a gate. Confirmation. Well, well, well. Some tadpoles down there. So my reference earlier to what can survive in these waters, and this one isn't so iron oxidized though, tadpoles and frogs can by the looks of it. Just on another one of these footbridges again. Wonderful down here, absolutely wonderful. Bird song, no jets, despite the proximity of Gatwick. I haven't heard a single plane today. Excellent. Decent vista as we continue on. Just on the driveway to the crest, amongst others. Balcombe Lake. And there's the outflow on the other side. I've filmed this in the past, do remember that. So here we are, Balcombe cricket pitch. So we're back at the three-armed finger post we were at earlier, with the iron gate there and the large oak, having just come up this hill. Passing the Balcombe Club again, Victory Hall. There's a blue pluck over there, let's go and see what that's about. There you go, Lady Denman. Through Balcombe Wreck. So here we are, back at Balcombe, 1650. Very decent walk that was. I'm not sure how many miles exactly I've done because I forgot to turn on the recorder after lunch. So I'll have to go with the official distance, which is 9 miles. It's now 10 to 5, so a bit later than I anticipated. But that is my first walk of distance for a month or so. But a very good one it was. Always love these Wealden walks, and the weather was superb. Perfect walking weather. With that little bit of breeze, ideal. There were a few tree roots to watch out for in certain places, one of which I tripped over, but lived to tell the tale. So I will be back in the Wealden area shortly, I know. So that's swcwalk447 completed, and very good it was as well. Thanks to Sean for that one again. Till the next time.